All right, so there's some big news shaking up the AI world. A major tech company out of China just dropped a brand new model, and believe me, it is making some serious waves. Let's get right into it.
And when I say waves, I'm not kidding. The initial reports are honestly pretty dramatic. We're hearing that this thing, well, it's not just competing with the big names like Google, it's actually crushing their models in benchmark tests. So, what is this new powerhouse?
Okay, let's pull back the curtain. We're going to break down exactly what this new AI is, who's making it, and why everyone's suddenly talking about it.
All right, the model is called Seedream 4.0. It's a text-to-image AI, and it's being developed by a group called Byte+. Now, you might be thinking who, but here's the kicker. Byte+ is the enterprise division of ByteDance. Yeah, that ByteDance, the company behind TikTok. So right off the bat, you know these folks understand viral content and visuals on a massive scale.
But look, big claims are one thing, proof is another. So, is this all just hype, or do the numbers actually back it up? Let's dig into the data and see what's really going on.
First things first, let's quickly talk about how these models are even ranked. They use something called an ELO rating. If you've ever followed chess, it's that exact same system. It's just a way to measure how good one player, or in this case, one AI, is compared to another. All you really need to know is, the higher the score, the better the model.
Okay, so here's the first showdown. Text to image. How good is it at making a picture from your words? Well, Seedream 4.0 comes in with a score of 1,222. And check this out, that puts it just ahead of Google's Imagen 4 and even OpenAI's super popular GPT-4o. It's a tight race for sure, but Seedream is the one that comes out on top.
But this is where it gets really interesting. When it comes to editing an image, that small lead we just saw, it turns into a massive, massive gap. Seedream 4.0 scores a whopping 1285. It's not just beating the competition here, it is leaving them in the dust. I mean, that's just total dominance in this area.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's pretty simple actually. Based on these benchmarks, Seedream 4.0 is the new king of the hill. It's sitting at number 1, not just for creating images, but for editing them too, the whole shebang.
Okay, so the numbers don't lie. It's number 1. But that just leads to the next question, right? How? What's it doing differently? What's the secret sauce here? Let's pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick.
So when you look at its strengths, a few things really stand out. First, the aesthetics are just superior. The images look fantastic. It's also really good at following your prompts, actually giving you what you asked for. And we already saw how consistent it is with editing. But there's one area, one feature, that is a total game changer.
Let's talk about something that drives every single person crazy with AI image generators: text. You know what I'm talking about. You ask for a sign, and you get this weird, alien-looking gibberish. It's a huge problem. Well, apparently not for Seedream 4.0. This is where it just blows everyone else away, getting the highest score for rendering text. That means you can finally, reliably create a clean sign, a book cover with a readable title, or a product with a clear label. That is huge.
Okay, so the tech is obviously super impressive. But for a lot of us, the next question is, so what? How can I actually use this? More importantly, how can you make money with it? Let's shift gears and look at the business side of things.
The thinking goes that there are basically 4 main ways to turn these AI pixels into actual profit. You can start by just making your own content creation way faster and cheaper. From there, you could offer that as a service to clients. You could also crank out tons of low-cost ads, or even use it to build better educational and training materials.
And to make that real, just think about it for a second. If you're a real estate agent, you could virtually stage an entire empty house in minutes. If you run an online store, you could create 100 different product shots without a single photo shoot. For content creators, imagine custom thumbnails for every video, no more generic stock photos. We're talking about massive savings in both time and money.
And that really hits the nail on the head. The real power here, the real opportunity, isn't just about making random cool-looking images. It's about creating very specific images that solve a real business problem, whether that's saving you time, cutting your budget, or creating a whole new way to make money.
All right, but a tool this powerful doesn't just show up out of nowhere without bigger implications. Its arrival really signals a much larger shift that's happening in the tech world. So let's zoom out from the individual user and look at the bigger picture here. For years, when we talked about top-tier AI, the conversation was almost always about US companies, Silicon Valley. But when a model like Seedream 4.0 comes along and tops the charts, that's a huge signal. It tells us that the landscape is changing, fast. The competition is getting fierce, and a lot of that incredible innovation is now coming out of China.
So you might be wondering, what's fueling this boom? Well, reports point to a few key things. First, there's a ton of government support and investment pouring into AI. Then you have different data privacy laws, which can sometimes allow for faster progress. And on top of that, there's a business culture that's known for moving incredibly fast and taking big risks. So the big takeaway here is that the AI race is heating up like never before. It's not just a one-country show anymore. It is a full-blown global competition. Now, that's probably great news for us. It means better, faster, cheaper tools are on the way. But it also leaves us with this one giant question to think about. As this innovation continues to accelerate around the world, who is going to lead that next great technological wave?